Yo, what up? We back with another edition of RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. Y'all gotta excuse the look. I ain't shaved. I'm out here looking rugged, crazy. I ain't even gonna take the hat off. But today we gonna talk about this week. We gonna talk about. I'm gonna answer one of my subscribers. She had repeatedly asked me to do a video on my first day home, and I get a lot of requests from subscribers, so I haven't been able to get to it. But today I'm gonna address that. My first day home, which is actually kind of weird because I kind of got like two first day homes, because I first came home to a halfway house. That was my real first day home. I'm gonna just park up right here on my car right quick. Yeah, so my first day home was at the halfway house. How I felt. My feelings was just all over the place because, for one, I was in prison for so long that I had got so used to the conditions that I was already used to living in, that when I got to the halfway house, it was like living in a hotel, you know? So I was happy. A lot of the guys that was in the halfway house, they were guys that had got sent there. They were just on the streets. I hadn't been on the streets in a significant amount of years. So I was happy to get to that bunk bed. And at first, I started in the dorm. And it was about 12 of us in the dorm. And a lot of the guys were complaining about that. And I was just coming from a jail dorm where there was 180 of us in that dorm. So now I moved to a dorm where there's only 12 of us. I was jubilant. That's what prison does to you, though. After a while, you get so used to the standards that you're forced to live in, that minute standards, like just being able to live around 12 people instead of 180 people, is just so, everything was just so dope to me, you know? The food was better. When you first get to the halfway house that I was living in, you're not allowed to leave for like, I think it was a week. You gotta stay there like a week before you able to even leave the halfway house. So while all these other guys were upset, that was something else. I was fine. We had a big TV. I'm used to, for the past few years, I've been watching this little pocket TV that they sell on commissary. And now we got a big TV in the living room. Actually, my first day there was a Thursday, I think. And my peoples wasn't able, because I'm not from Connecticut. So being locked up in a Connecticut jail, it really put like it was hard for my peoples to come all the way out here from New York all the time. So I got to the halfway house Thursday. My peoples didn't come up until Friday. So the whole Thursday to Friday, I was there with nothing. You know, my peoples wasn't able to bring me nothing. So I was like the happiest, brokest, poorest bum there. I didn't have nothing except my jail sweatsuit. I didn't really bring nothing home. So I come in there, I got my jail sweatsuit. I didn't bring anything home, so I didn't have anything. The next day, my family came. Oh, they had a computer. That was another thing that was dope. I haven't been on a computer in so long that when I got there, it's like, oh, snap, a computer. I was able to get on a computer, reactivate my social media. I spent all night doing that. My first day there, I was like getting back on social media and just letting everybody know that I was home. And then the next day, my family came and they bought me a phone. Oh my God, the phone. I ain't seen phones in so long. We had illegal phones in prison that you're not supposed to have. But in prison, you gotta be grateful for whatever you could get. So the dude that was selling the phones just happened to be a close friend of mine. This dude wanted, I think, $400 for an old 1990 flip phone. And then for like an iPhone, he wanted $1,000 for. Like if you wanted something new, you was paying $1,000 and better. And I wasn't doing it like that in prison. So luckily for me, this was one of my homies. So I was on a different type of time with him where I could be like, yo, let me use the phone right quick. And I never abused it. I never took advantage. I think I used his phone maybe once or twice before they came and got his ass up out of there, because what happens in prison, you run your mouth, word gets around, next thing you know, word gets around to the officers that he's selling phones. And they ran him up out of there. But that Friday morning, that Thursday when I came home, I was just so happy to be home. I jumped on a computer. Friday morning, my family came to visit me. They bought me all kinds of, they went shopping for me, bought me clothes. I didn't even know my size. I've been gone and I had put on a lot of jail weight. So I didn't know what my size was. I had to just go through trial and error, you know, try this size. They bought me a few sweatsuits. They were kind of tight because I used the size that I was before I went to prison. And eventually got it right, you know. They bought me a phone, and once I got on this phone, it was like the things that you could do with the phone now is so crazy. Like I spent a lot of time in my room, just getting to know society, getting to know things, getting back in touch with a lot of people. Once I got the phone, I was able to go on like social media and put up, yo, I got a phone. Everybody inboxed me for my number. A lot of dudes started inboxing me. A lot of people started inboxing me. And I was just like taking that time to get back acquainted with the world, you know. I remember the food that they served there. A lot of the stuff that everybody else was complaining about was just like so dope to me, you know, because prison food is horrible. So now we had a cook coming in, you know, and the cook looked like he was probably, to be honest, a fiend from the hood. I could be wrong. But we had a cook coming in and he was cooking real food. He wasn't cooking this prison slop that I've been eating or I've been forced to eat. So he's cooking real baked chicken and macaroni. And then they had a Jamaican lady that used to come in on the weekends and get busy. So the food was just so dope to me. I ain't gonna lie, everything was just like so dope. After being confined in those situations that I've been confined in for so long, just to get dropped off in a halfway house where a lot of guys was mad to be there, but a lot of the restrictions is taken off of you. So even though I don't smoke cigarettes, they had what's called smoke break. And being institutionalized makes you want to go out. You know, you've been locked down for so long that every smoke break they called, I was out there with them dudes. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but I hear them call smoke break. Every chance to go get outside of this building, I was out there. They had a little basketball court out there. I go out there, shoot around. Just was happy to be free. Like, just was happy and grateful to have the little bit of freedom that I had, you know? So I stayed there for months. I got there September. I left maybe March. I was there for 6 months. I got my job. I started working, and I found me a place out here in Waterbury, you know, because I work in Waterbury. So I found me a place out here in Waterbury too. And that was my first day in the halfway house. So now we have my first day home, my first day out of the halfway house, where I had 95 to 90% of my freedom back, because I'm still on papers. I'm on parole till 2030 something. So I will not have 100% of my freedom back for a while. But I might have sat in my car for a little while. But I had a lot of my freedom back, and that felt even better, you know. So I remember I had got my place. And then I had I took the lease to the house. Once I got out, my first day there, I think I just, and I went to a room. Like, I was renting a room out of somebody's house. Yeah, I really am looking crazy. I gotta get my hair done. Y'all gotta excuse my appearance, you know. For one, I just woke up. I gotta go take care of some business. And for two, I ain't have time to clean all this hair off my face. So, again, I apologize for my appearance, you know. But when I got out of the halfway house, I think the first thing I did was went and bought me a television and a video game. I'm a video game dude, you know. I like to play video games. So I went and bought me a television and a video game. And I remember telling myself, because I wasn't trying to go back to prison. After spending so much time in prison, it was like, I want to at least give myself a chance at being home. So everything that I did before I went to prison, that got me locked up, I was trying to like stay away. Just like they tell drug addicts, you got to change people, places, and things. I was trying to like keep that same mentality, because I only been out here for however many years I've been out here at the time, but I know I've spent more years in prison than I spent in the streets. So I remember buying me a video game and a TV and saying, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to bring myself home, and this is just what I'm going to do. The fact that I'm not from out here gave me a little advantage, because I don't have no friends. I don't have no vices, you know. I can go home and I can go to work and go home, and I ain't got to worry about entertaining no company. I ain't got to worry about getting in trouble with any of my friends. But I just remember feeling like a weight has been lifted off of my chest. And how could I forget the most important part? In prison, you are deprived of females. So it's like every man is thinking about the first time he's going to have sex when he gets home. That's the thing. And I'm going to keep it a buck. I got to keep it 100. I could only keep it 100 because this is RPT. This is real prison talk. So the whole time I was in prison, I was thinking about how I'm going to come home. I'm just going to savage something. Like, I'm going to go crazy. It's going to be all night. The girl going to be tired of me. And it didn't go down nothing like that. You know, the girl, I was in the halfway house my first time having sex out of prison. I was in the halfway house, and we had went and got a room. And all that work that I thought I was going to put in, the party was like, I'm embarrassed to even say this. I'm going to keep it a buck, though. I only can keep it a buck. The party was over a little faster than I thought, you know? So I thought I was going to be all night. My body thought differently. Soon as I went inside of it and felt that wet stuff, the party was over. And she's sitting there looking at me like, are you done? And I'm like, I guess so, you know? And it was embarrassing, you know? And the second time was a lot better. But I had to go back and talk to a lot of dudes that I was locked up with that had the same problem. And they told me that is a test that a lot of people fail. So the second time I went, I made sure I studied for that test. And I practiced in the bathroom before I went. So that if you get what I mean, I'm not going to go in too much detail. But I made sure I had a practice round before. And that turned out a lot better, you know. That was like the main thing on guys' minds is sex when they in jail. So I gotta throw that in there. When I came home, the first thing I was in a halfway house, so I couldn't really just get up and leave. But first chance I got, you know, that was been on my mind all them years. So the first chance I got, I just went and took care of that. And I hope I covered everything. I'm gonna end it on that note. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, hit the like button. And until next week, peace.